It's time for the Sicilian Corner, Lou.
It's time. It's Friday.
Absolutely.
And you're wearing a tie. What happened?
Look at who our guest is.
Ciao.
Eszter. How are you?
Great. Doing great. Here I am in Sicily. Can't complain. It's a little bit hot and humid, but you know what? Could be worse. Can't complain.
You know something? Right now, the weather here, in my opinion, if there was a place that had this kind of weather day in, day out,
oh, it's gorgeous.
I would drop anchor. I don't care.
What's it like?
Well, you know, in the morning, it's relatively cool for some people. You know, you're around 50 in the morning, and then it warms up real quick, and it goes up to like 73, 74. Mm-hmm. No humidity. We haven't had rain, and this is the 18th day without rain. But who's counting?
You are, apparently.
Well, I mean, you need rain, that's for sure. But right now, everything's come alive again. The grass is turning green. The flowers are getting invigorated again. That hot, humid weather, jeepers creepers. You know,
hot, humid 90s sweltering for the past probably 2 weeks.
Oh, gosh. When will it drop off the cliff? When will you get a big change?
October.
Oh, really?
And mid to end October. You know what? Last year, I remember, last 2 years, I went swimming in the sea.
Yeah.
In October. And
it was nice and warm.
Yeah, it was nice. It was very comfortable. Prior years, not so much.
Okay.
But you know what? All this humidity and all this, heat, we've had several downpours. They're called water bombs. Like yesterday here, I was in Taormina. We have a group going on. And yesterday here, there were pellets of ice falling for about 10 minutes. Destroyed the town next to us is having a festival. You know, all the lights are on the ground, trees down. Meanwhile, in Taormina, there was a little bit of a passing shower, but it's not significant enough
to make a difference.
Make a difference in this terrible drought that we're having.
Yeah. Well, you know, Eszter, before you and I get into it, and Louis, I just want to bring up something. You know, Louis has a little bit of a fan club.
I do.
I don't know if you're aware of it.
He does.
Yeah. And he gets gifts from people. You know, me, I get stones. Him, he gets these beautiful looking tomatoes. You have that picture?
I'll got to get the picture.
Yeah, put it up
Who'd
there.
you get it from? Peter Scipoletti?
No,
Ooh.
That's separate. That's another one. That we're not counting him right now. He gets it from Roger Trudell.
Okay, so what you're trying to tell me is Roger gave me tomatoes and didn't give you any? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
This particular bag and the assortment.
Oh my gosh, look at that.
Gorgeous, huh?
Those are heirloom tomatoes. Heritage tomatoes.
I'm going to get some mozzarella, and I've already got some vinaigrette glaze, and I'm just going to go caprese with this stuff.
You know something?
Little salt,
a little bit of
olive oil,
a little bit of basil.
Oh, got to get some basil.
EVO.
Yep.
You got it made, kid. You got it made in the shade.
Or a little bit of oregano, or have basil and oregano.
Right.
Mamma mia.
Yeah.
That's the perfect one.
I've got basil on the deck, and I got parsley, and so I like going out and snipping.
Yeah.
You know, it's pretty cool. I like that. But the seasons now are really changing. But I thought that was awful nice of him. He said, and he looked at me and he says, "Listen, these are for Louis, not you, for Louis." You know,
Roger's got my back. He's always got my back.
No,
listen, I'm
that's
going to
nice.
say something. That says volumes about you guys and the show. Roger's been one of your main fans ever, like way before I've been around, and that's been 10 years.
Roger is not only someone who supports the Sicilian Corner, but he's also a dear friend. And he's a nice man.
About you guys.
Yeah, we have a good time. And Peter Scipoletti, you don't get any better than Peter and his wife, Jean.
Thank you, Roger. Roger says enjoy. Thank you, Roger. I will.
Oh yeah, Roger just wrote in. He says enjoy. That's good. That's good. Um, I just one other thing, Esther, I'd like
Yeah.
to mention, and the city of Methuen actually did something that made an awful lot of sense this week.
Wow.
For once,
No, Mayor Perry, I got to tell you, I tip my hat to
I'm
him.
just talking Massachusetts cities in general, so I
Well,
wasn't picking on Methuen.
the council and Mayor Perry approved to purchase 19 acres of Searles land, Edward Searles land, and they're going to float a bond for it. It's going to be almost an average tax holder in Methuen won't even know, because they're getting rid of some debt and they're going to take out this bond. But 19 acres where the presentation of Mary is, that's where the land is located. And you got the mansion, plus the town of Methuen, the city of Methuen, is getting $1 million worth of art.
Wow.
So you take $1 million worth of hard equity, it brings that price down to 2.5. Jeepers creepers for 19 acres of prime real estate plus a house.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think it's absolutely incredible. And to keep the developers from going in there and, building barrack type houses, keeping the land undisturbed, to me, speaks volumes. I have to say one thing, Esther, about the town of Wyndham. They've been purchasing more land and keeping it from developers. They've been doing it now for a good 10, 12 years. It's amazing how much land now belongs to the town of Wyndham. And I love that. Every time you go to build a house, Lou, you have an impact fee, and it's substantial.
Yeah.
They take that money, it goes into the conservation fund, and they buy up property. And I think that's healthy, not maybe for me at my age, but if I had grandchildren, I mean, this is where it makes an impact. Instead of having houses on top of you, you look at that area in Methuen. If they were to build all kinds of condos in that area, the traffic's bad enough now. The roads can't support it. What are you going to do if you put 500-600 units in?
Right.
It's crazy. Anyway, Roger, I think that's fantastic.
Roger says your knives are ready, by the way.
What is it?
Your knives are ready.
My knives are ready. He's in the house roaming around, right? I didn't even know where the hell he was. And I had a phone call, and Roger's going to say, what else is new? And all of a sudden, he's got two of my knives, and he's touching them with his fingers. So I get off the phone. He says, you should be ashamed of yourself.
They're not sharp enough?
He took them. He's going to put an edge on them. He's going to put an edge on them.
That's awesome.
Esther, I was on looking at Sicily, and I could not believe the amount of apartments and homes that have, here it's just the opposite. We don't have inventory.
We have lots of availability. Well, this has been going on for a long time, Mikey, right? Because all the people that left Sicily for the United States, for Canada, Brazil, Australia, that mass migration out of here has left a lot of towns. The €1 towns people keep talking about. Well, the €1 towns are a scam by the mayors to attract.
Can you explain that a little bit more in detail?
So there are these homes that are for sale for €1.
I see that.
And it's a scam by the mayors to try to attract people into the cities that have been, just completely abandoned. The population of Sicily keeps dwindling down. And some of these mostly inner islands, so, in the hinterlands, areas of Sicily are offering these homes that then you have to turn around and spend thousands and thousands of dollars to bring it up to code, to make everything, to fix everything, to get running water, to install electricity, to put this in and that in, to bring everything up to code. So it's really a scam, really. There are some people that have done it and are doing, YouTube videos and showing the difficulties and the many hurdles that they're going through because, for instance, we have a friend in Acciariale, not far from here. They're fans. We met them because of YouTube, one day, the girl stopped me on the street and said, "Oh, we follow you guys." And then she told me this story about how her and her husband from Boston bought this palazzo, this huge palazzo with 8 rooms for dirt cheap. And, like less than 5,000, not €1, but no less than 5,000. And it's taken them over 2 years and it's still not livable.
Hmm.
There's contractors will come do a job, then they won't show up. There's the language barrier. They have to get this code and this permission and this registered and that. It's not an easy thing. But you mentioned apartments.
Yeah,
Was
really.
It's hard enough in this country dealing with contractors.
Yeah. But you mentioned €1 homes. So these homes, there are a lot of other apartments and places for sale. And in fact, we know a lot of realtors. We work with a lot of realtors who do leasing, renting, or buying all over the island, and they are readily available. People ask, "Oh, what's an average price?" There's no average price. It depends if it's by the sea, if it's near a tourist area, if it's in the inner lands. And we just did a video with Al on our YouTube channel, You, Me, and Sicily. And it really, the least, the cheapest, I don't want to say least costly, but cheapest is definitely inland in the province of Caltanissetta, for example, where, there's not much there.
Mhm.
There's not much there. So it also depends what type of a home, the location in terms of, is it residential? Is it near agriculture? Is it in the city? So, but the good news is that there are things available in Sicily.
It's a big decision. I mean, I tip my hat to you and to Al for what you did, because I don't think I have the stones to pack up and go to a different country.
It's a different style. It's a different lifestyle. It takes some adapting. Let me give you, a little bit of an example of someone who came here, a couple. I just had dinner with them, and they had it in their hearts that they were going to move here to Sicily, and they've been here 2 or 3 times before. And this trip was specifically to scope out a location and to talk to some realtors and so forth. And after 4 weeks here, they were just so, how do I want to put this? Put off by some of the hurdles, some of the things that you have to do, that they told me that they're changing their mind and now they're looking at Montreal.
Oh, we're going metropolitan.
Yeah.
Huh?
We're going metropolitan.
They're going metropolitan. They visited, they went all over Sicily. They met with a bunch of realtors, and that was just their feeling. For me, I look at it like this: is my life better here, even with all the hurdles, all the bureaucracy? Because when you move here, the number one thing you have to learn is patience. Patience, number one, patience, number two, and then dealing with bureaucracy.
Yeah, dealing with Al's brother Tom, I had to develop an awful lot of patience too. He is a nervous
Now you
wreck.
don't have
A
to deal
nervous
with it
wreck.
anymore.
Yeah, he was tough, and he never gave you a chance to really say too much. And then if you question him, what are you talking about? We had the same amount of airtime. Yo, yeah, right. I felt like a mannequin sitting next to him. But he's very animated, and he knows his topic, and he gets going on a roll and forget about it. He doesn't want to come up for air. And your significant other is somewhat like that. Al's never lost for words either, but he's a lawyer. You expect that. I just want to tell listeners, your show, You, Me, and Sicily, the one you did about leasing, renting, or buying, I recommend to anybody that has any thoughts at all about going to Sicily and maybe staying and living there. Watch this show. Watch it once, watch it twice. It answers an awful lot of questions. I mean, we're not here to give legal advice. That's not what we're here for. But there are some people that would like to maybe a change of pace, that are retiring early, and the financial wherewithal to be able to go to a different country. And the cost of living is a lot cheaper. That you have to agree. Correct?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Listen, the whole lifestyle is different. You know, starting with the foods, the fruits, the vegetables, the produce, the abundance of fish, the, just good quality food. When we go to the piazzas, which are the squares, all towns have a square. It's like the United States was, and I wasn't alive then, but, back in the 60s, where families went out, men and women do the passeggiata arm in arm. Kids are
Go
playing
for a nice stroll.
soccer. Kids are playing soccer. Kids are not on their phone. Kids are skating, roller skating. People are talking. The men are sitting on the benches. There's women walking around talking. And it is a very enlightening, beautiful scene, and really heartwarming to see that. So there's a lot to the quality of life here, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Alfred and I work hard. But there's also, let me show you this. How about this for a place to wake up to?
Be still my heart.
Gorgeous. Yeah.
Oh man, that's gorgeous. Eszter, I love it. You'll have to show us more when we come back from our break, because I'm up against a commercial. You know what that is? You know what a commercial is, Eszter?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Louis, why don't you take us out? Eszter, we'll be right back.
Ciao, this is Esther of You, Me, and Sicily. I want to talk to you about Tommy Amin and the great staff at Butcher Boy Market. Families, foodies, and home chefs come together at Butcher Boy to talk good food and create traditions. They offer the best in quality cuts of beef, pork, lamb, poultry, and restaurant-style steaks and chops. Produce? All of their produce is hand-selected to complement any meal or even to make it your main course. Their deli serves fresh roast beef, turkey, and beautiful imported Italian cold cuts, cheeses, and antipasto. And don't forget the Butcher Boy Bakery, featuring sweet delectables from all over the state, as well as their very own bakery. That's Butcher Boy, where the secret to a great steak is, of course, the steak. Located at 1077 Osgood Street in North Andover, Massachusetts, in the Butcher Boy Plaza. Ciao!
This is Tom Zappala. Located in the heart of downtown Haverhill, the Haverhill Beef Company is a full-service, old-fashioned butcher shop and meat market that continues to be a valued family tradition since 1952. Peter and Monica Carboni's Haverhill Beef offers individualized service from an outstanding selection of marinated sirloin tips, homemade sausage, marinated chicken, and thick, juicy Chairman Reserve steaks. Your family deserves the best, so call Peter at 978-374-4795 or visit their website at www.haverhillbeef.com.
When you dine at Ristorante Melisse in Amesbury, Massachusetts, you feel at home while enjoying an authentic Italian dining experience not to be forgotten. From the appetizer to dessert, you won't regret your choice. Bring your cravings and appetites. They promise you won't leave hungry or without leftovers for the next day. Takeout and catering are also available. Give them a call or visit them online for the menu, online ordering, and reservations. RistoranteMelisse.com. That's RistoranteMolise.com or call 978-388-4844. Ristorante Melisse, where you're treated like family. Legacy Care Law Firm provides estate planning and elder law services to people in the greater Merrimack Valley and southern New Hampshire areas, with offices in North Andover and Woburn, Massachusetts, as well as Nashua and Salem, New Hampshire. Discussing family and financial matters with an attorney can be intimidating, but our goal is to help you prepare for the future as you preserve your legacy. We help clients qualify for government medical benefits and ensure their estates are preserved for their families so they don't need to worry about their estate being wiped out by high nursing home expenses. Legacy Care Law Firm attorneys are here to support your journey toward a more secure financial future.
At Catadella Funeral Home, we reinvest in our business to provide your family with the best facilities. It begins with a beautifully landscaped exterior, parking for 250 vehicles, and a comfortable and inviting access to our renovated interior. Funerals can be costly, so you should review and compare plans to make sure you receive services that are fairly priced. I invite you to experience the Catadella difference in cost, facility, and service.
Catadella's, honoring and celebrating the lives of the people we loved, providing exceptional care since 1929.
Italian artisan cuisine combines simple, fresh ingredients with time-honored preparation to create an incredible culinary experience. At Tuscan Kitchen, located in Salem's historic Depot District, talented chefs prepare everything in-house from scratch for all to see. Guests enjoy their meal literally in our kitchen as food is prepared right in front of you. Wood ovens burn from morning till night, roasting vegetables, baking bread, and firing delightful thin-crust pizzas. Prime steaks are seared on a wood grill. A rotisserie slowly roasts marinated whole chickens and lamb, while a pasta maker creates fresh fettuccine. More than just artisan cuisine, Tuscan Kitchen features the wine bar, live entertainment, weekly wine tastings, and elegant private dining and event space. Call 603-952-4875 or visit TuscanKitchen.com to make a reservation and learn more about the culinary adventure that awaits. In Italy, cooking is an art form. Tuscan Kitchen. Experience artisan Italian.
Orthopedics Northeast and Essex Orthopedics have joined forces as Mobility Bone and Joint Institute to bring improved access and outstanding medical care. While our name has changed, our dedication to exceptional care remains the same as it has for the past 30 years. Same location, 16 Pelham Road, Salem, New Hampshire.
This is Cindy,
and Mike Kunstler,
owners and operators of Four Oaks Country Club and Grazie Italian Restaurant in Drake, Massachusetts.
Grazie Italian Restaurant is the hidden gem of the Merrimack Valley.
Why is that?
We have an incredible chef, Oscar Figueroa.
In the words of local famous chef and restaurant owner Lydia Shire,
Oscar thrives on hard work.
He is capable and gifted.
No one makes better food. Scallops, seared to perfection.
House-made ravioli with farm-fresh local corn.
And buttery tender Lazy Man's lobster, just to name a few.
You have to come experience Grazie Italian Restaurant for yourself.
Grazie Italian Restaurant, located at Four Oaks Country Club, 80 Meadow Creek Drive in Drake, Massachusetts. Hope to see you soon.
Hope to see you soon. Hope to see you soon. Eszter, we are back with the lovely, right, Lou? The lovely
Of
Eszter.
course.
No question
Dresses
about
up our show, I'll tell you that
no
much.
question about that. Eszter, I wanted to, we were briefly talking about the surplus of places to live. The amount of immigrants that are coming into Sicily is huge. Is that creating a serious problem for the government in Sicily?
Let me tell you, Mike, one of our first videos in 2014 dealt with this very issue. It's an issue that has plagued Sicily for a long time because of its position, right? It's a passageway. So the immigrants from African countries, from Middle East countries, war torn, clan, running away from clans, seeking a better future, like all immigrants have, and various other reasons, has been an ongoing issue for over a decade. Now, when we did this piece, the reason we did it is because a lot of ships were overturning during storms. And it is a continuous problem. And we spoke to the Rear Admiral of the Italian Navy down in Augusta. And at that time, a lot of it was Sicily's burden. So they were paying for all the migrants to come in or house them, feed them, process them, and so forth. Now, these migrants, they don't want to be staying in Sicily. There's no jobs in Sicily. They want to go up north. They want to go to Germany. They want to go to France. They want to go to a lot of other countries. It is a continuous problem that makes headlines all the time. Just a few days ago, there was a ship, I believe it was from Tanzania, that have returned. There were about 120 migrants on there. The Italian Navy had to rescue them, house them, process them, and so forth. So, yeah, it's a big problem. But like I said, they don't want to necessarily stay here. They
No.
want to be going up north. So in terms of that, it is a huge problem. It's not just that we're being inundated. It's mainly from some of those countries. Now, we will have to say that I don't know if it's because our channel has grown and the word has gotten out, but I do not remember having as many requests from people, because Alfred is an attorney, to get dual citizenship, move to Sicily, or do long-term 3 months, 3 months, 3 months on, 3 months off. A tremendous amount of people are interested in moving to places like Italy, Portugal, Spain. Those are the hot countries to move to right now. And we are definitely seeing an increase in requests and questions and so forth.
That's good. That's good. On the tourism side of things, this year, are the numbers as good as, say, last year? I mean, you're in the business.
Far exceeded.
Really? Okay.
September, up until September, 12 million people passed through Sicily as tourists.
Are you serious?
It's one of the highest numbers that we've ever had, really ever had. And, there's a lot, it's really funny, the amount of Americans as well coming. And a lot of that has to do with the White Lotus. Have you heard of the White Lotus? Lou, have you heard of the White Lotus?
I don't know much.
TV series. I tried to watch a little bit of it. It was very popular.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's very popular. And there's been a bunch of towns in Sicily where they shot scenes at. So there's the White Lotus tour. Listen, there's always going to be, and there always since the 70s, the Godfather tours. And now it's the White Lotus tours. And very interestingly, this is a topic that Al and I are talking about on this Sunday's show, because we go to one of the Godfather towns, cities, Savoca, where Michael Corleone asked for Apollina's hand. There was a wedding scene there. Anyway, and so we talk about the effects of the Godfather and so forth. But how did I get to here? What was your question? We were talking about
how good the tourist business was.
About migrants, about tourists, excuse me, yes. And so the interesting thing too about a town like Savoca and Forza d'Agro, which were two towns where the Godfather was filmed. It was not Corleone, and I'll tell you the story of why it wasn't Corleone in just a second. But when you go to some of these towns, you forget that it's the Godfather, because it is so goddamn beautiful and cobblestone streets, and you hearken back to a period, 100 years ago, what Sicily was 100 years ago. There's sheep everywhere. There's orange trees, lemon trees, olives. You have beautiful views of the sea because it's on top of the mountain. And then you have cobblestone streets, narrow streets where no cars are allowed. So, those type of towns are our favorites. Of course, every time I go to Taormina, I'm like, oh my God, there's so many people, most of them Americans right now, lots of them. In fact, our guides are telling us too that they've seen a huge influx of Americans coming here. So tourism is doing well. Up until mid-October, it's going to be busy, very busy here in Sicily. So it's good. And there's always events going on, We have the what the G7 is, right?
I'm sorry?
The G7 countries.
Yes, I do. Yes.
United States, Japan, France,
Germany.
Germany, all of those. Well, next week, the G7 is holding their agriculture conference here in Syracuse. And it's attracting people from those countries. So there's going to be a huge American delegation, a huge delegation. And that's a mega, shot for the economy, for sure.
Excellent. Outstanding. I just want to say Nancy DeMarco is saying hello to you.
Ciao.
We mentioned Andy Parisi, Barbara Cody, my significant other, is saying good morning. And, it's something that's good. Andy is doing much better. He went through a tough summer this summer, and he couldn't really work the garden the way he likes to. He's like Roger and Peter. He's another one of those get my hands dirty type,
Nice.
which is a good thing. It's good exercise.
Yeah.
Instead of paying to go to the gym, work in your yard. Why not?
Not.
You know what I mean? You're bending
Mike,
over, you're stretching. Yeah, go
I
ahead.
want to say one more thing about tourism. That's very interesting. Next year, Agrigento will be the cultural capital of Italy. That's where the Valley of Temples is. Okay.
Yep.
So that every year, Italy picks a town that makes it the cultural capital. And we're going to be, Agrigento is going to be 2017. It was, or 2016 was Palermo, which was a huge deal. So now here we are, 2025, it will be Agrigento. So they're expecting a huge influx of visitors. And listen to this.
I'm all ears, baby. I'm all ears.
The mayor of Agrigento
Yep.
has outlawed the sale of Godfather memorabilia, any products with the Godfather. He wants the focus to be on the true assets of Agrigento, which are mainly the Valley of Temples, instead of the Godfather. What do you think of them apples?
Silly.
I don't know if I agree with that, but that's okay. I think people should have a choice, whether you want to buy material or whether you don't. I think it should be left up to the individual. If nothing else, the Godfather, to me, the photography,
yes,
the way it presented, it was like you were there. You know what I mean? You know, when the grandfather got the lemon, had it in his mouth, it was like I was talking to my grandfather, my nanu. It just, the violence, crazy. But something, that's a small part of it, and people like to kind of keep bringing that up. But there were so many other positives that a Godfather, in my opinion. And people say, how can you think positive? Well, to me, it brought out a lot of things that brought forward. Just looking at the countryside makes you want to go.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's the Godfather tours and the White Lotus tours. And interestingly, that was something that Alfred and I were talking about today, that when you look at the impact of a movie like The Godfather, for example, you look at the stereotypes that were created, that every Sicilian now was somehow a mafioso.
Stereotype, yeah.
A mafioso was somehow, all of them violent, all of them are crooks, all of them this, all of them that. It unfortunately created a stereotype that that was one of our initial goals. That was our initial statement, goal statement, that we were going to do You, Me, and Sicily to dispel some of these stereotypes that still exist, unfortunately. And people are, they think that all Sicilians are like that, which is the complete opposite. Now, on the flip side, places like Savoca has a bar called the Bar Vitelli. The Bar Vitelli was exactly the place where Michael Corleone asked the father for his bride's hand. And they're making a killing. They're making a killing. You know what? You can't, since the past 2 years, you cannot even go inside the Bar Vitelli to take pictures, because they have an entire room, all scenes from The Godfather.
Oh, wow.
Without buying something. Now, let me tell you about the Four Seasons in Taormina, which was one of the scenes, or many scenes, from the White Lotus. It used to be that you could go to the San Domenico, to the Four Seasons, and get a drink and have a beautiful view of the sea, one of the most spectaculars. The other day, a year ago, I went there with a couple that said, "Oh, we have to go. We have to see where the White Lotus. Let's go have a drink." So I go up there. It's the same guy who's always been there, the doorman. And he stopped me and he said, Esther, you can't go in anymore. I said, what do you mean I can't go in anymore? You have to spend at least 50. I said, okay, between the three of us, we'll have 50 euro worth of drinks. No problem. No, 50 euro a head.
Oh,
Wow.
a salute. Good for you. I love it. I love it. It's
You
like
think we
Cheers.
went
It's,
in? No.
it's like Cheers in Boston. Same thing. I mean,
What
Cheers,
did
you
they
couldn't,
ask for?
huh?
Yeah, but
What
they
do you have to
didn't
spend?
charge you to get in.
They didn't
see it.
charge you to
Yeah.
get in, but you couldn't get in. The place was always jammed. They'd be out on the sidewalk. People would be lined up in the common, for God's sake, at its peak. It was insane. And I never got it. I don't know what the White Lotus is about, but you know something? Hey, it's creating excitement. People want to go. And if they're spending good money, it's helping the economy.
And that's the other big thing that I'm trying to say, that the mafia certainly, or the Godfather movies certainly have brought a lot of money into Sicily.
No question about, you talked about being stereotyped. I had a situation with my own father. One day I was visiting, I was over the house. My father says, come on, Mike. He says, let's go for a walk. I says, okay. So we go and we're out for a stroll. And out of the clear blue, he looks at me and he says, some people that I work with, one guy came up to me and he says, I hear your son is loan sharking. My own father, loan sharking. He says, are you loan sharking? I mean, for Pete's sakes, you get Visa and some of these credit cards, they charge you 35%.
Yeah.
I'd lend money at 35%, sure. I'd be a sucker not to. But my own father, and the way he said it, I broke out laughing. He says, this isn't funny. I pissed him off. Hey, listen, I got one more break to do. Then we're going to be back to the top of the hour. So don't go away. Keep smiling. And we got a lot more to talk about, right?
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Always fun with you guys.
I know that. All right, hon. We'll be right back.
Ciao, this is Esther of You, Me, and Sicily. I want to talk to you about Tommy Amin and the great staff at Butcher Boy Market. Families, foodies, and home chefs come together at Butcher Boy to talk good food and create traditions. They offer the best in quality cuts of beef, pork, lamb, poultry, and restaurant-style steaks and chops. Produce? All of their produce is hand-selected to complement any meal or even to make it your main course. Their deli serves fresh roast beef, turkey, and beautiful imported Italian cold cuts, cheeses, and antipasto. And don't forget the Butcher Boy Bakery, featuring sweet delectables from all over the state, as well as their very own bakery. That's Butcher Boy, where the secret to a great steak is, of course, the steak. Located at 1077 Osgood Street in North Andover, Massachusetts, in the Butcher Boy Plaza. Ciao!
This is Tom Zappala. Located in the heart of downtown Haverhill, the Haverhill Beef Company is a full-service, old-fashioned butcher shop and meat market that continues to be a valued family tradition since 1952. Peter and Monica Carboni's Haverhill Beef offers individualized service from an outstanding selection of marinated sirloin tips, homemade sausage, marinated chicken, and thick, juicy Chairman Reserve steaks. Your family deserves the best, so call Peter at 978-374-4795 or visit their website at www.haverhillbeef.com.
Sisters and co-owners Antoinetta and Elisa brought their family authentic Italian recipes from Molise, Italy, and a warm and welcoming dining experience to its customers at Ristorante Molise. The combination of their meals made from natural, homemade, fresh ingredients, and your time with family and friends together at dinner time is unmatched. Located in Market Square in the heart of Amesbury, they're open for dinner Tuesday through Sunday from 3 to 9 p.m. and are available for private parties during off hours. For reservations, call them at 978-388-4844. That's 978-388-4844. Legacy Care Law Firm provides estate planning and elder law services to people in the greater Merrimack Valley and southern New Hampshire areas, with offices in North Andover and Woburn, Massachusetts, as well as Nashua and Salem, New Hampshire. Discussing family and financial matters with an attorney can be intimidating, but our goal is to help you prepare for the future as you preserve your legacy. We help clients qualify for government medical benefits and ensure their estates are preserved for their families so they don't need to worry about their estate being wiped out by high nursing home expenses. Legacy Care Law Firm attorneys are here to support your journey toward a more secure financial future.
At Catadella Funeral Home, we reinvest in our business to provide your family with the best facilities. It begins with a beautifully landscaped exterior, parking for 250 vehicles, and a comfortable and inviting access to our renovated interior. Funerals can be costly, so you should review and compare plans to make sure you receive services that are fairly priced. I invite you to experience the Catadella difference in cost, facility, and service.
Catadella's honoring and celebrating the lives of the people we loved, providing exceptional care since 1929.
Italian artisan cuisine combines simple, fresh ingredients with time-honored preparation to create an incredible culinary experience. At Tuscan Kitchen, located in Salem's historic Depot District, talented chefs prepare everything in-house from scratch for all to see. Guests enjoy their meal literally in our kitchen as food is prepared right in front of you. Wood ovens burn from morning till night, roasting vegetables, baking bread, and firing delightful thin-crust pizzas. Prime steaks are seared on a wood grill. A rotisserie slowly roasts marinated whole chickens and lamb, while a pasta maker creates fresh fettuccine. More than just artisan cuisine, Tuscan Kitchen features the wine bar, live entertainment, weekly wine tastings, and elegant private dining and event space. Call 603-952-4875 or visit TuscanKitchen.com to make a reservation and learn more about the culinary adventure that awaits. In Italy, cooking is an art form. Tuscan Kitchen. Experience artisan Italian.
Orthopedics Northeast and Essex Orthopedics have joined forces as Mobility Bone and Joint Institute to bring improved access and outstanding medical care. While our name has changed, our dedication to exceptional care remains the same as it has for the past 30 years. Same location, 16 Pelham Road, Salem, New Hampshire.
This is Cindy,
And Mike Kunstler.
owners and operators of Four Oaks Country Club and Grazie Italian Restaurant in Drake, Massachusetts.
Grazie Italian Restaurant is the hidden gem of the Merrimack Valley.
Why is that?
We have an incredible chef, Oscar Figueroa.
In the words of local famous chef and restaurant owner Lydia Shire,
Oscar thrives on hard work.
he is capable and gifted.
No one makes better food. Scallops, seared to perfection.
House-made ravioli with farm-fresh local corn.
And buttery, tender, lazy man's lobster, just to name a few.
You have to come experience Grazie Italian Restaurant for yourself.
Grazie Italian Restaurant, located at Four Oaks Country Club, 80 Meadow Creek Drive in Drake, Massachusetts. Hope to see you soon.
And we are back. Esther, I would like to mention that, I know you know this, but the Christopher Columbus statue that was in Columbus Park in Boston that got vandalized, somebody cut his head off, and the mayor hasn't really taken it all too seriously, in my opinion. But it's to me, it's part of our culture and it should be displayed. Well, Father Michael Della Pena has allowed the Christopher Columbus statue that has been restored. The Knights of Columbus had a lot to do with it. The Italian-American Alliance that I belong to had a lot to do with restoring it, raising the money. So now that statue, Lou, is going to be located right on Hanover Street in the St. Leonard's property, in their gardens, in the Peace Garden.
Yep.
And there's a lot of security and everything else. And that garden, Esther, over 1 million people stop every year in those gardens, either walking into the church or stopping, but over 1 million people see it. And I'm so glad that the Christopher Columbus statue is up and on display for the public to see. That's a wonderful thing. And I just want to thank everybody from St. Leonard's and especially the father for doing this, because I think it's very important. Traditions, customs, to me. And Esther, I know how you believe how important those are. And that's why you like doing what you're doing. So this is a good thing. This is a good thing.
Customs continue on generation after hundreds of years of tradition.
Absolutely. And, you really shouldn't try to compare someone that lived 500, 600 years ago with today's standards. It's next to impossible. And there's so many falsehoods out there about Christopher Columbus. You have no idea. There's one book I just read. I'm trying to think of the idiot's name that wrote it. And I can't right now. But anyway, a lot of it is baloney. The man had a lot of virtues. He was fearless, a navigator that went out in the ocean. I mean, there's so many pluses. It's unbelievable. Yet people want to take shots at him. And it's not a shot at Christopher Columbus. It's also the Italians. It's an insult.
Yep.
It's just like trying to get rid of Christopher Columbus Day. BS to you. All right? BS to you. It's not right. It shouldn't happen.
I agree.
We don't ask anybody to lose one of their holidays. Why should you go after the Italians? Don't get me going. I'm getting a little bit worked up.
A little hot. I agree with you.
I'm getting hot. How hot I'm getting hot. Esther, what would you consider to be the value month to come to Sicily to get the most for your buck?
Listen, I would say the best times are April, May, when it's still a little bit quiet. We actually have a May group tour that we focus on the east coast of Sicily. Beginning of June's pretty good. July, August gets really hot. This has been an unusually humid September for us.
Okay.
Usually a little bit cooler. October is a great month to come.
Is it?
Yep, the temperature is still comfortable. You still have some more daylight hours. You have the fall produce coming in. You've got just a whole different feel.
Nice.
People, February is great because there's no one, not a lot of people here. There's still some events and things going on. The days are getting warmer. The daylight is getting longer. So February is also good. March depends on what type of a holiday you want to do, what kind of a vacation.
It'd be nice to see a lot of sites without having thousands of people around you.
I would say April, May, October is great.
Good to know.
Those are March, April, May, June. It starts July, August. It's going to be interesting to see how this October was. The last 2 Octobers have been pretty significantly. I've seen an increase in traffic in a lot of the tourist areas.
Good.
So
That's
it'll
good.
Be very interesting. Well, it's good, but then you're you'll feel like a sardine among many people walking the concourse in Taormina. There's so many people that I feel like people miss out on seeing things.
I understand.
It's just it's like New York. There's too many people to navigate, and you miss out on the beautiful sights.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
My first visit to Sicily was 1965. My first visit, and we stayed because we were there for an event. There was a wedding, and it was in Catania. And I had Lucille's mom and her 2 aunts, and we stayed at something called a pension or a pensione or something like that. And basically it was like a floor with 3 or 4 rooms, but a shared bathroom. There's nothing like that anymore, right?
I mean, maybe hostels. No, it's mostly Airbnbs, apartments, hotels, things like that. I'm sure
today
found something like that, but
it was something
I've heard of.
It was something the family set up before we got there, and I'm saying I got to share a bathroom.
Yeah.
I mean,
That sounds like a Mikey thing.
It didn't really make. I didn't feel good about it, but something. We had just got married. What the hell did we know? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But,
I mean,
Lucille, who's very quirky about things like that. She just rolled with it. I mean, she didn't bother at all, which shocked me. I think about it now and I'm saying, was she on something? What what was the story? But it was very economical to stay there. I didn't know if they still had them.
When you come here, you can go from low, middle to very high end. You know, like the San Domenico, the Timeo, they go for like 2,000 to 3,000 a night. You can go an Airbnb 50, 60 a night. You know, so there's all ends.
I know that.
There's all ends. You can come here to Sicily and really stretch your money as well, because things just cost less than the United States. You know, we started out the program talking about moving here and people interested in a longer period here. When it comes to everyday living in terms of apartment, of food, of household items, of services, far cheaper than it is in the United States. And people always comment about it. Wow, in the States, I would pay this. No, no way. You know, all kinds of services and products.
I don't want to put you on the spot, but if I'm drawing Social Security and a pension here in the United States, and I have it sent to Sicily because I'm going to stay there, I pay taxes here in the United States. That money comes into Italy. What happens? No double taxation?
No.
Okay. Somebody asked me that question. I told them not to ask you.
But I just want to tell your viewers that I'm not an attorney, but my boyfriend is, Alfred Zappala. If you need
a damn good one.
If you need any assistance, if you're looking at getting your citizenship, if you're looking at perhaps buying something or things like that, he's the one to do it. But to answer your question is, for example, for us, we both have Italian bank and an American bank.
Okay.
My American money stays in the United States of America. We also have two phones. I have an American phone and an Italian phone. So of course, you know, we have our feet in both sides of the pond, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I do. I was just curious because, like I said, you know, you can take your Social Security, Louis, and your pension, interest from the bank or whatever the case might be, and really live large. I mean, from what I'm seeing, I mean,
live large and live like this.
And live like that. Wow. If you want to live like Al and Eszter, get in touch with Al Zappala, and he'll be more than happy to help you out. Eszter, tours. Beautiful. If anybody's interested in that, I'm sure there are people that are interested in coming to Sicily, and they'd like you to be their private guide. How would they go about?
They go on youmeandsicily.com.
Everything is there.
Everything's there. My contact. Also, our group tours, we have, believe it or not, our June West Coast tour is completely sold out. We still have room in our May East Coast, July East Coast, and October. But, you know, 2025, by the way, the Pope just announced that it's another Jubilee. And I don't know if you know what that means, but there's going to be a lot of people going to Rome, coming to Italy. So if you're thinking about coming here, I would say plan it sooner rather than later.
You know, it's funny you say that. You know, we were chatting with Marianne Esposito last week, and she was scheduled to go into a certain area, and I forget exactly where she was going, but she couldn't find enough hotel rooms. And this is like for next year, you know? So you got to really be proactive and step out there and plan things well in advance. So, Louis, if you're thinking of going to Sicily,
are you thinking of coming, Lou?
Yeah,
I can't go because I have to do the show every Friday.
Lou, get over here. We'll do it together from here.
We'll do it from here. That'll be great. Yeah.
See, all right. Yep. Problem solved.
We'll just stream up Mike.
Yep.
On StreamYard and
beam me up. Beam me up, Scotty. Absolutely.
Well, he's done shows remotely. He can do that.
Eszter, we're almost toward the end of the show. In closing, what would you like to bring up that you think our Sicilian Corner listeners would be interested in hearing?
I think your Sicilian Corner, even if they're not Sicilian, which I am not, I think if you're looking for a paradise, charming places, gorgeous beaches, food like you wouldn't believe, experiences, wines, olive oil, and just an all around relaxing, healing, and great time, consider coming to Sicily. Happy to help you, happy to enhance your experience, and we'll be waiting for you here in Sicily.
I love to read some of the comments from some of the people that have taken a trip with you and Al.
Yeah.
If people would just take the time to look at some of the reviews, you don't need to be sold on it. You'll jump at it because you make it personal, and you're the reason why you're doing what you're doing, and it's so successful because you make it personal. You get into people's, you know them, you know their personality. You ask a lot of questions. What do you like? What you don't like? What kind of food you want? And you know something?
I bend over backwards for people. Trust me.
I know. I can tell by the comments. But listen, girlfriend, we're out of time. Now you're going to be here in November, and you're coming into the studio, huh? Ah, that's what I hear.
Hopefully, if God wants it, I'll be over there in a little bit of part of December as well.
That's fantastic.
God.
Fantastic.
Hey, listen, Lou and Mike, I want to say that it is very much a huge pleasure for me to talk to you guys every Friday, first Friday. First Friday. Wait, first Friday? Yeah, first Friday of every month. It's something I look forward to. I enjoy it. So I appreciate the opportunity.
We love it. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Take care, Eszter.
Okay.
I'll see you, hon.
Arrivederci.
Have a good weekend, everybody. Enjoy.